I've been covering this game for a long time, and this right here, guys, is an absolute unit. So in this review, I'm going to uncover just how strong it is, and don't be surprised if it gets adjusted. And I tell you what, once we're all done, let me know down in the comment section what you think. Like, is it a little broken? Is it fine? You be the judge. There might be some things you shouldn't be able to do with this thing. There are a lot of things that you can add. There are things that you can loop. There's some tricks to it. I have some PvP gameplay in here, a ton of it. But this thing is just as good in PvE. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to place this thing in S tier across the entire game. Definitely a must-have for a hunter, like crazy exotic. And I want to show you how to use it. Cyrtarachne's Facade, which this is another hunter spider-themed exotic helmet. All you vets out there might remember the ATS Arachnid, and it looks like the Arachnid walked, so the Cyrtarachne could run. Exotic perk, Acrobat's Focus. Gain Woven Mail when activating grapple, increased flinch resistance while Woven Mail is active. Two very different things that it does. First and foremost, gaining Woven Mail by grappling. Two, they added in increased flinch resist. And I'm telling you, this thing's GM ready, trials ready. Wherever you want to take this helmet, it's ready to go. Like, I'm going to be using it in GMs when they drop, no questions asked. Because with how you can set up Threadrunner, you're a problem, put it that way. I first want to go through how and why you should set it up a certain way. We have the aspects Widow's Silk, you gain a second grenade charge, and your grapple creates a grapple tangle point. Then of course the slam, it's the air dodge to suspend. When it comes to the grenade, we want the grapple. For the fragments, Ascent, activate your grenade ability, and it reloads your equipped weapons and gives bonus to handling and AE. Warding, picking up an orb of power, gains Woven Mail. Generation, dealing damage, generates grenade energy. And then transmutation. While you have Woven Mail, weapon final blows create a tangle. And as far as tangle, strand in general, this isn't even taking into account what we have in the artifact mod, because we have Untangler, Threaded Blast. Now, for this setup, I highly recommend 100 Resilience. It's going to hurt some other stats. That's okay. Tier 10 Resilience in PvE is 30% damage reduction. And as far as the Crucible, yes, you survive a little bit more, maybe some TTK checks. But at Tier 10 Resilience, it's the best anti-flinch multiplier. Best of both worlds. So for the helmet, put a Siphon for your main weapon. And in PvE, other mods, maybe heavy, special finder, whatever it is. For the Crucible, targeting for your main weapon, make it aim down sights a little bit better. The gloves, double grenade kickstart. Then PvP, reloader for the weapon that you're mainly using, that you're siphoning with. For PvE, you can add in font if you want, bolstering, whatever. For the chest and the Crucible, double unflinching for your main weapon. Same one you've used for the reloader and the siphon. PvE, resistance to what you're playing against. Could be solar, concussive. You can add in font, or maybe even emergency reinforcement. That has play here. When your shields become broken, you gain temporary damage resistance. For the legs, up to you. You will be making orbs. We have Absolution, Innervation, Recuperation. We have all the surges. We have stacks on stacks. Make this how you want. For the class item, PvP, Reaper, and Double Bomber. That way when you dodge, you get grenade energy. And for PvE, Reaper, and then fill in what you want. It could be Bomber, could be maybe Special Finisher. It's gonna be up to you. Here's the deal with this helmet. And some of the PvP gameplay, I've just been grappling around. And yes, you can do that, you should do that. But with how Strand is set up, like let's go into PvE. Woven Mail is potent there, 60% damage resist. So like right here, no Woven Mail. This is a Master 1840 Lost Sector. I'm at 1820, so 20 below. The champion downs me in 6 hits. And even when you slow it down, it's still kind of fast. Just chunks you down. But with Woven Mail on, I take about 11 hits. Probably could have been 12. And that's what 10 tier Resilience 30% damage reduction combined with Woven Mail's 60% damage reduction can do. And it's going to get even better if you add in Resist for Solar, Arc, Concussive, whatever it is that you're going up against. But the main deal with Cyrtarachne's Facade, Woven Mail is just up indefinitely. So I'm going to go slow, and then we're going to go from there. So when you create that grapple point, it's literally that. It's an anchor point. You use one, you still have the second grapple. You can grapple to it and cancel it. Well, every time that you grapple cancel, Grenade Kickstart ×2 procs, and every time you're doing that, Woven Mail's timer is starting right back over. Constantly refreshing. But that's just for show, because you can just mash cancel the thing and fly back to the grenade in no time, because double kickstart is getting that grenade back in no time. And what you do is you're moving point to point. When you're done, you do that grapple cancel over and over, just smash it down, get back to double grapple charges, and then you move. You go to a new spot, make a new point, and do it again. And the idea is that you're using it for the DR. So in this content, 20 levels below, creating the point, just keep grapple canceling. And like that just alone, I feel is GM ready. Definitely solo Lost Sector ready. With the kit, with your aspect, when you're hitting that grapple, when you're doing the cancel, you're also reloading your weapon. That's Ascent kicking in. Since Woven Mail is always up, Transmutation is going to give you a tangle on a final blow. Then you're going to have the tangle counter. When you dodge, maybe you're low. That gives some grenade energy from Bomber if you're using it that way. When you dodge, you're proccing Reaper, get a kill, create an orb. Sometimes an orb and a tangle. You're gonna get charged to whatever surge you're using, maybe recuperation, and it's also reprocking Woven Mail. It's like infinite Woven Mail. Maybe there's some dead time. Just the act of dealing damage is getting that grenade back. I was messing around with Woven Mail and a Glaive. Glaives have massive DR, so if the Glaive ever breaks, Woven Mail's the back line. And if I'm charged with light, like emergency reinforcement is the back line, if you have that ready, you can live a lot. There's also the land tank weapons like explosive personality. And with land tank, final blows gives you some resilience, increased resilience, but it's also granting additional damage resist from combatants. It'll stack to ×3. Extremely strong in PvE. There should be no issues taking it into any content. Use the correct mods, surges, weapons, make it all flow. Especially since on Strand with the kit using the artifact mods. A definite must-have. A crazy loop that you can do for infinite 60% DR with your resilience, with all of your resist mods on your chest piece. It's the real deal. Now, let's move on to PvP. Anything that has too much DR, I call it out. I've always called it out. Sure, of course, I show you how to use it, how to utilize it, and this has a lot of DR. With how you can play this, you're in a dominant position pretty much every gunfight you get into. 6s, 3s, trials, rumble, whatever. The idea is the exact same. And I used a ton of different weapons. Like right here, I have 100 resilience, tier 10, double kinetic unflinching. My crafted tears of contrition is no distractions, explosive payload. With the extra anti-flinch coming from the helmet, I'm a rock. Flinch isn't felt. Same deal that was shown earlier. Set up that anchor point with that second grapple. Every now and again, just keep grapple canceling, reprocking Woven Mail. And the Woven Mail part, it is potent in PvP as well, because again, this setup, this non-meta scout rifle, no distractions, tier 10 resilience, double unflinching, helmet mod with flinch resist, being in Woven Mail. It also has 69 stability. So 6 total sources of anti-flinch. It is wild. I'm gonna jump back for a second. Like Woven Mail in the Crucible, 33% damage resist to anything that isn't a crit. That's a key word. It puts a massive amount of pressure on your opponent. A massive amount, because it's not just guns. You know how a flux grenade does 250 damage? You know, the one-shot grenade? If you have on Woven Mail, it's 188. It doesn't do it. A firebolt deals 65 base, then ticks for 6, 5, 4, 80 total damage. You get hit with Woven Mail, 49, 4, 4, 3, 60 damage. 33% DR. Trip Mine, 141, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 of Scorch, 171 damage. If you have on Woven Mail, 106. Then Scorch of 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 130. So I think you're seeing what I'm seeing here. Like, I think you're getting it. Because as I've shown, you can live in Woven Mail. And oh yeah, things like rapid fire fusions, you survive the entire burst. And with some of these fusions, they have like a 5 or 6 bolt requirement, like a threshold. Like that's gone because of Woven Mail. A lot of pressure on your opponent. You have full range, you can do anything. They have to hit you in the head. And in this situation, you have added anti-flinch to land your shots. You take 33% less damage to your body from anything that isn't a headshot, like nades, bullets, whatever. I would assume even melees too. I forgot to check that now that I think about it, but probably melees too. I did things like I pulled out Disparity, my crafted one. I changed Rapid Hit Headseeker to No Distractions Headseeker. It was very good. The Zen Moment, Kill Clip, Adept Horror's Least that I talked about in the Zen Moment video, a beast, like frying. One of the best. Again, Zen Moment has a lot of anti-flinch as you're hitting shots. It's got high stability for anti-flinch. Tier 10 resilience, double unflinching mods, exotic helmet with the anti-flinch. Like at this point, I am telling you, while they have to hit you in the head, anything to your body's 33% less. Like flinch is a suggestion instead of a feature. You feel like a rock, immovable. You don't move when you build all the way into it. And like, keep in mind things like trace rifles. They're getting a total of about 24% total anti-flinch coming with their 100 stability soon. And I've had a lot, I mean a lot of you ask me after the Zen Moment video. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure to inform you, I have replaced Enhanced Rangefinder with Enhanced Zen Moment on my Austringer. It is amazing, not going back. With this setup, it's stupid good. It's got 96 stability with all this going on. It's incredible. I'm loving it. And I have so much gameplay that's going to get thrown away. I was having such a good time with this. And I don't want to keep you too much longer if you're still here, but I was having a blast. And in a lot of cases, just an absolute field day. You have Woven Mail up all the time with very crucial anti-flinch. You still have Reaper, the dodge, get an orb. You still have getting woven mail that way. You have double bomber to get some of the grenade back. Just hitting things gets your grenade. It's wild. And then if you have another user, a friend using it, or multiple, it's even better because you can have an anchor point and everyone just grapple cancels off of it, kind of stays where they are. And you've seen in some gameplay, as you're moving around or as you're getting ready to get into a gunfight, right next to you, start a grapple, cancel, get the woven mail DR, get the anti-flinch. If you have the second one, just reload, mash, cancel to get both back. So when you move, you have both charges. And it's just up a ton. That's the big deal. Like, all damage is negated except for crits. Nades, bullets to the body, 33% less. Tick damage, poison, scorch, all of it. Meanwhile, if you set it up, flinch is just a suggestion, and they have to hit you in the head. So yes, I stand firmly, it's S tier. Even more so when you commit and build into it. It's going to hurt some of your other stats, but that's okay. You're going to try your best to align them, get them up a little bit higher. Things like your recovery, things like your mobility. But overall, straight up, one of the best that there is. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about Cyrtarachne's Facade down below. What are your thoughts on it? Have you tried it out? Do you have anything to add? Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.